Hey, witches!
Hi, hello, and welcome back. We are almost finished with Iron Flame. We have this episode and one more.
Well, I finished it, but that was.
Shut the fuck up. I need you to go
Oh
to
my
bed, okay?
gosh. No, it's fine. This summer has just been like a fucking shit show. Like,
Yeah, it
and
really
not just
has
for
been.
like us, like for everyone. It's just been one
Hmm.
thing after another all summer long. So it's just been wild, but we're getting there. We're starting to pull back ahead where we're a week or two out, a week out. We're like a week
We're,
ahead. Yes, we are.
we we just finished recording Saturday the 10th, August 10th episode. That's next
Okay,
Saturday.
which is a week ahead. We're a week ahead. We could not record next week and still be okay.
Any, anyways.
Anyways, chapter
Um
55.
okay, look. I was so excited for their fight. I don't know what it is. Like, I love slow burns. I love enemies turn lovers. I love the bad boys. Love all of that. But every time we're about to get a damn good fight and then it gets cut off by something, I get pissed. And I was so excited. I was like, yes, we're going to fucking fight. We're going to do it. We're going to actually get a fight. I'm so excited for it. We didn't get that fight.
We
I
didn't.
I was honestly really fucking disappointed.
We got the
First off,
beginning of it, but we didn't.
we
We
didn't
didn't
even
get
get
it.
an ending. We got a shit
No.
ending. We got an anticlimactic ending. We're not even
Yeah.
there yet, and I was really pissed off. But anyways, I was pissed off at both of them, to be honest. Like, I can see his
Yeah.
side of the story. Like, I really didn't want to tell you like the end. Like, the this was only like what, 3 pages long. Um, I can understand like why he didn't want to say it, but I'm really upset with him too because like okay, she's got such a great point. How in the fucking world? Yes. So she is upset. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She doesn't want to lose him. She doesn't want to like face the questions that she doesn't want to face the answers to the questions that she wants to know. Understandable. I understand that. Life is real fucking shitty at this point in Violet's life. Like, everything's turned right upside down for her, and I don't blame her for like being cautious about what questions to answer. However, I also fucking see it. Why would I ask you a question if you're not going to give me the outright fucking answer?
Yeah.
So
So
like
that's what I
I
said. I understand both sides of their thing here. Like I get what they're both trying to say, but I definitely have to side with Violet here. Like
oh,
I asked you the fucking
yes.
question and you still wouldn't answer. And
You're
then
like,
here in a minute
okay,
she asks another question and he doesn't want to answer. And
fucking
it's just like,
deflects.
bitch.
It like I understand you're upset, but how many fucking times is she gonna have to ask you to be fucking truthful about this? How many times does she have to say, give me everything? Like, if you're gonna give me, like, if you want all of this, if you want me to be truthful with you, if you want me to do this, to do this, to do that, you have to do the same.
Hmm.
She's asked you multiple times, and each time she's asked you a question that has given her anxiety for fucking weeks, you fucking deflect. You don't answer her question. And then that pushes her anxiety even further out into the open. And then that makes it harder for her to ask more questions. And then you're
Yeah.
stupid, like you're not asking the right questions. Fuck you. How is she supposed to know what kind of questions to ask?
Hmm.
Zayden, if she doesn't fucking gut your ass right now, I will fucking do it. I still love you, but you are a piece of shit and I want to kill you. You are an asshole. Oh my god.
although she does on page 511, he says Yes, and I didn't offer the information because I knew you'd find some way to blame yourself, just like you've assumed guilt for everything that's gone wrong the last minute or last few months. And she has the audacity to try to say, I have not. Bitch! Bitch! Bitch!
Okay. Also, in all fairness, regardless of that, she still probably would have done it. She still did it. And that I think that's
Bitch!
what pisses me I think that's what really frustrates me too, is the fact that he's like, "Well, I didn't do it because you've done this." And it's like, she's done it anyways. Why does it
Right?
matter? She's done it anyways. You wouldn't tell her about your whatever in Calidor. Why? Because you didn't want her to take the blame for something that you felt like she shouldn't know about. She took the blame for it anyways. And then she felt like she needed to because she couldn't do something because you wouldn't be truthful with her. Well, she didn't ask the right questions. I don't give a fuck. Go to therapy.
Well, she's about to ask the right question. She about to ask the
Yeah.
right question, boo, and you're not finna want to fucking answer it.
Thank you to fucking
She said,
Sloan.
let's put your theory to the test. You want me to demand the truth to ask you something real? Please do, he challenges. What's your second signet? Oh!
Oh, and then the color drains from his face, and he's just like, "Oh, fuck." And
Oh,
she's like,
fuck.
"Oh, exactly. Cat got your tongue." And
She's like, I know you have one.
ooh, I love that Salone brought this up, and this like, and she didn't even she picked this up, and it was like one of those like it was one of those like little detail things where you're just like, why is this important? Like, why are we reading about this?
Yeah. And I didn't
And
even
then all of a sudden, it's like,
realize.
yeah, until you read this, and you're like, no wonder they talked
Oh,
about it
shit.
because it was like because of Once Upon a Time, I think in Fourth Wing they made like a brief comment or like there was like a brief paragraph about Zayden and Sigale um bonding after Sigale had bonded to a possible close family member,
Yeah.
wasn't sure which one. And then Sloane on the way up the mountain was like, "Oh yeah, you could do this, you could do that. Like, da, 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 da. If this happens, you could do this, and that." And then she's just like, "You're pretty fucking sane, aren't you? So what is it?"
Yeah. Because if you didn't get a second signet, you would be mad. And so here, which I don't want to say this necessarily because I think it's going to give something away to you or give you an idea about something. So I'm not going to say what I thought his second signet was going to be, but based on the spoiler that I know about, I was like, oh, I know what his second signet is. I was wrong, but I thought that I knew. I'll tell you what I thought it was in the next episode because the spoiler that I know about doesn't happen till the next episode. You want me to
I
tell you
mean,
now? You might guess though.
that's fine. I guess like 8 things in this episode.
I thought he was a siphon.
Oh, girl, same. 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 I was like, oh, "You're a Venom." How do you know so much about this bullshit, you Venom, you piece of shit? He's a Venom,
Yeah,
isn't
I
he?
thought he was a siphon. That's definitely what I thought.
Mm,
So,
mm.
and then somebody's been knocking on the door for like 10 minutes now, and they finally realize that they're Brennan says we have an emergency out here, and it turns out that there's a horde of wyvern on the way. I was looking at my book and I looked up and your hands were just a waving. I was like, "Are you trying to get my attention?" Then I realized what
No,
was
my
happening.
camera was like super fuzzy, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Uh, man, that spiel got me hot.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I was having like a mental breakdown last night because of this. I was like so heated. Will's watching X-Men, and I mean, like, I'm partially watching it because like we just got done watching like Deadpool and Wolverine, and so like I was kind of, and I hadn't really like X-Men was his favorite growing up. I never really watched X-Men. It wasn't like my parents didn't really care for like superhero movies, nothing like that. Like I had to watch it on my own. Um So, and I never watched the cartoon. So like that's what we were kind of that's what he was watching. And I'm like reading this. And this is the bullshit I hate. And this is why I think I have like a processing disorder. Like and I told him, I was like, okay, I need you to pause this because I'm gonna go on a tangent and I need you to listen. I was like, first off, I need you to read the books so that like as these happen like in real time, I can talk to you about it in real time. Because I can't talk about this right now. I have to wait till I talk about it with Brandy and like the passion's not gonna be there. He goes, what's going on? And I was like, look, you ever read a book? And I was like, no, because you fucking audiobook it. Okay, whenever you read a physical book, if you have like read a physical book, like whenever you did, um, you ever just like get so into the story because like it's juicy details and you just like you're jumping ahead, like you're skipping every second or third line just to like read what's ahead, and then you like kind of read the spoiler, but it's not necessarily a spoiler because you're like skimming. So you kind of have an idea, but you're not processing it yet. So then you have to go back and reread it. But then like you read a spoiler, but you're still trying to process what's like you just read, but now you have to reprocess something that's going on. And I was like, my brain is fucking broken because I was like, because first off, we're fucking fighting about this. And my brain is trying to process the argument, and then she just drops a fucking question that I had only suspected was a possibility for her, not even
For
for
her,
him.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, not even for him, but for her in the future. We don't even know about it yet. But for him, oh no, I wasn't even expecting that. And I was like,
Same.
so now my brain's got to stop thinking about the fight that we have been having for the last two fucking books. And now I had to start thinking about this question, but my brain's not done fathoming the fight. So now I'm over here like holding my hands up against the wall, like trying to figure the fuck out. And he's like, there was a plot twist, wasn't there? And you just, I was like, yes. He goes, are you going to be okay? And I was like, no.
Not at
I need
all.
to talk. Like, I don't understand. So I had to reread the whole chapter again.
And at that point, I hadn't even started reading that chapter yet, so you couldn't even talk to me about it.
I was like, ugh.
Ah,
I was like,
sorry about
what
that.
the fuck? And so he was like, are you going to be okay now after I like read it again? And I was like, yeah. And then I got to the very end of it and I was like, God damn it. He's like, what? And I was like, it's not a plot twist because like I knew this was a possible, like I knew this was coming, but it was just like one of those things where it's like the fight got fucking pushed off again in another direction. And I was like, I just wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I press play now? I was like, will you just go in the other room and start listening to this fucking book, please? I just need you to listen to the book so we can talk about it. Damn it.
Now.
Ugh. Anyway,
Oh my
so
gosh. Chapter 56.
yes.
So they had raised the wards already, right? No.
Yes.
They're
No,
doing it
they're
now.
working on it right now. They're
They're doing
literally
it
heading
now.
up.
Yeah. So they're going to do that, and um we're not sure if it worked or not. Like they're not sure. She thinks she felt a difference, but she's not
Yeah,
sure.
because they're going up to the top to be with their dragons right now. They
Yeah.
had to have a dragon from each and every clan. So they have her brother, her sister, right? No, they have a green
Um
dragon there, and that's Rhiannon.
yeah.
So they have Zayden, Rhiannon, um,
Tarn.
Tarn, her brother, Dane. Dane is there because Dane's got to be there.
Because he has an orange dragon, right? Or no.
No, her brother's
Right.
got an orange dragon. But regardless, they have to have a dragon from each and every clan, and they all have to blow fire on the ward stone
The
that is
ward stone.
imbued with
Imbued.
imbued, thank you. Endued with power. Imbued with power. Imbued with power.
Imbued.
Thank you. Imbued with power. And then once it is all of this good stuff, then Siri's there with her brown club tail. That's it. Brown's there. Um Once they're all there, then they you know, fire up. They also have a small little her and Taryn also have this small little talk about like how's Andarna doing, and they're like she's being questioned by the elders. Um for her actions were found justifiable. But to slay another dragon is a heavy mark upon the soul, even when in defense of yourself or your rider. That's why you only took his eye instead of killing him, isn't it? I should have ended him then. I will not hesitate when faced with a similar predicament in the future. She now suffers with a burden that should have been mine. And then instead of like saying like, yeah, way to go, Taryn, she just like completely slides over and goes, I'm proud of her. Like she did good or whatever. And then Taryn's like,
Yeah.
as am I. And I'm like, you know what? Everyone should be proud of Indarna. Solus deserved it. I hope she's giving them
Mm-hmm.
hell with her little adolescent attitude.
Yup. I hope so too.
Mm,
Mm-mm.
it is
Then we
time, though.
we kind of start having the fight again a little bit because she's, so Zayden doesn't want to tell her what his second signet is, and she starts trying to guess basically.
Yeah, instead of like, oh, okay, well, let's see. And I love her like thought process behind all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because she's like,
She's being really
uh,
logical about it.
yeah, like it's like all because your signet's all about like what's you at the core.
Mm-hmm.
So she is like trying to figure it out, and he's like, well, how long does it take for someone to fall out of love with somebody else? A day, a month? Or I'm asking because I don't have any experience with it. And she's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
What is your signet? um and so then he goes, well, if you won't tell me, I'll figure it out my damn self. You are a master of secrets, hence the shadows. You're deadly with every weapon you pick up, but that's not a signet. You're ruthless, which I guess could have been something to do with an ability to shut off your emotions. And then she continues, you're a natural leader. Everyone gravitates towards you, even against their better judgment. But she whispers that last part. She's like a
Yeah.
mutter. You're always in the right place. Are you a distant wielder? There hasn't been a distance wielder in the centuries, and you don't think if I was one, I would have spent every night in your bed? But what do you need? I ponder, ignoring the tense set of his jaw. You need to question everyone to make your own impressions. You need to be a quick judge of character in order to know who to trust and who not to, in order to have run those smuggling missions up as Gaius for years. More than anything, you need control. It's woven into every aspect of your personality. And he's like, she's getting close.
Stop.
So he's like
Yeah.
demanding her stop. So she's like, you need to fix. Never mind. If you could mend, you wouldn't have brought me to Eratia. Let's try eliminating signets instead. You can't see the future, or you never would have led us to Athabine. You can't wield any element, or you would have done so in Resin. Who knows? Because like this is the thing that's going to make or break them. Who, in fact, knows? Because the last information that she found out, everyone, including Taryn,
Everybody already
knew,
knew. Yeah.
and in Darna, and she felt betrayed by everyone, including her dragons.
Everyone.
And so he basically, and she's like, do the marked ones know? Does the assembly? Am I the only person close to you who doesn't know, just like last year? And he goes, for fuck's sake, Violet, no one knows. So she's like, I deserve better than this. Tell me the truth. And she's like, and he's like, you've always deserved better than me, and no one knows, because if they did, I'd be dead. And she's like, why would? And then it hits her. She's like,
It clicks. Click,
oh.
click, 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 click. It clicked for me then as well. I was like, oh shit,
I
he's an
stopped and I
intrinsic.
was like, he's not a siphon.
Yeah.
He's an intenstic.
Yes. And then finally, finally, for once in her fucking life, Violet has an appropriate reaction to something emotional. On the
Mhm.
bottom of page 523, she says he's like say something because he's freaking out. And she's like, "My love isn't fickle, so you'd better live because I'm ready to ask you all the fucking questions." Finally, Violet. Like she didn't just immediately be like, "Fuck you, you didn't tell me, I'm pissed, I'm done, I'm." She actually was like, "Mm-mm, okay, no, I love you and I have a lot of fucking questions."
Yeah. And here's the thing, I was like, I want Zayden and Vi to be endgame, but I'm also kind of over this, like, back and forth. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's because I'm in my healing era and I feel
Yeah.
like I'm in a,
The toxicity of it is like,
I'm like,
let's
all
get it
right, I'm
together.
over this. Like a little bit
Yeah.
of like the toxicity of it is okay, like in the beginning, because like when you're like getting to
Yeah.
know that person, especially when you're
Yeah.
enemies at first, like that's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
But like it's been a fucking year, bitch.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Both of
This is
them. To both
okay.
of them.
Yeah. Like you guys seriously grow the fuck up. You have been in war. You guys have been tortured. You guys have nearly fucking died multiple times. Are you guys not emotionally like ready for anything? So, but also like she also has good reason to assume like Zayden didn't told everybody but not her because like Zayden
Has done
because of
this in the
last year.
past.
So like also I was hoping for her to like maybe the little unhealed part of me was like, yeah, let it out. Yeah. Go back at him. Yeah, yell at him. Like I get it, your love's not fickle, but also I want the fight. I want the fight.
Yeah.
The fight's not there, and I'm not happy about it. But I was like so excited because he's like say something, and she's like the roaring grows louder, blah, 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 and I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. My love's not fickle, but I have a lot of fucking questions. What? What is this? What is this bullshit? You can. Did you yell it? No, you didn't. You just said my love's not fickle. Yeah, that's fine. You could say that, but can you yell at him a little bit more? So,
Oh my
but
gosh.
also my heart was breaking for Taryn because like he was pissed
Oh
because
yeah.
even his mate didn't tell him. So like this was the
Yeah.
first time Taryn found out about his second signet, and so like Taryn is like heartbroken and upset and angry, and I was like, oh no, bitch, you fucked with Taryn. Like Sigale, you were on my list.
Yeah.
You fucked with
Yes.
Grandpa? No, 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 you don't. Mm-mm.
Yes.
You fucked with my old man.
Yeah, and then the wyvern show up.
Which this
And
was really anticlimactic too.
it it was, but I feel like that was there was a reason for that. Like,
I see the reason now, but like when I was reading that, I was
yeah.
like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What
So
is this?
basically a couple of them fly through the wards and die. And that's basically all that happens.
Yeah.
So the
They're all
wards
like
were
watching, like the entire fleet, I guess. I don't want to call it a riot,
right.
but it's
Hold
not
on.
a. What do they call the flyers?
Uh
Drift. They call them drifts.
drift, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to call them a fleet because I don't know. But it's like a whole fleet of wyvern, and they were all like, all
Don't they
right,
call it a
bye.
horde? Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
call it a
you're right. You're
horde.
right. The horde. Oh, that's such a
Yeah,
good word. A
it
horde.
is.
The
Ooh, say it again.
horde. Childhood unlocked. Mufasa. I'm surrounded by idiots.
Core memory unlocked.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Um Then the horde just is like, peace out, Girl Scout, bye. And
Yep.
they fly away. And
Yeah.
Violet's like, that's it? That's anticlimactic.
Yeah. It is anticlimactic, but then like right afterwards, they get invited to a meeting with Melgren.
I don't trust this meeting with Melgren. I honestly,
Mm-mm.
right here, right now, especially with his like her mom going, I was like, I feel like Melgren's gonna offer them a choice and they're gonna go against that choice, and he's gonna be like, okay, and then he's just gonna like murder their mom.
Right. So I was like, first, no to that meeting, at least not on those terms, because he was like, just come alone, like just the two of you. Fuck you, bitch. No. First
Bring
of
all the
all,
marked ones, they can't see you.
right. And then second of all, what's wrong with the wards? Because Serena can still wield, which means that something is wrong with the wards. They're not as
Yeah,
strong as they're supposed to be. Um, which now I know what's wrong with them. Um, but at the
I know
time I
too,
was
because
like,
you,
what's wrong
yeah,
with the wards?
I know you're just like, fuck, are you kidding me? Like, did she fuck up the translation? God damn it. Get your shit
Kind of.
together, Violet.
Kind of.
But in the next episode, or in the next chapter, we find out.
Yes.
But at least it kind of bought them some time. Not a lot,
Yeah.
but some time.
Yeah, it was enough that they didn't get slaughtered in this instance.
Yet.
So, yeah. And
Yet is the
then
key word.
and then on to chapter 57.
Girl, we flying.
Hey, that's
We
okay.
soaring, flying.
Stop it before Disney comes for us.
We're on a dragon.
Yeah, but Disney don't
We
play
don't believe
about
in
their
heaven.
copyrights.
Fuck you, Disney.
Chapter 57.
Just don't look at all the Disney memorabilia behind me.
Right. Me too. Anyway,
I don't get paid for this. I can sing it.
you right. You right. We don't get paid for this podcast yet.
until I until I get paid for this, I will be singing my fucking heart out. There's not a star in heaven that we can reach.
Oh my god. Anyway,
God, I hate that movie.
listen, I have very strong emotional ties to those movies, but that's another episode. Um
That was my senior song in like for the dance team. Together, 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 everyone. We're all in this together.
Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah,
Are you done?
sorry.
Okay.
I didn't
On
know if
page
my mic wasn't working.
529,
Sorry.
which is the very first page of the chapter. I was just like, when did Violet get like emotionally mature?
Exactly.
Because
I was excited about the fighting.
yeah, but like there's no fighting. She's like discussing with it and like being rational and I don't know. It's just weird.
It's called being in a healthy relationship.
Yeah. I mean,
Semi healthy.
yeah.
not not healthy yet, all the way, but you know, something.
The odds are against them, okay? So okay, they're at this meeting. This was another like oh shit moment on page 532 because they're at this meeting and they brought more than just the two of them, obviously, because they're not fucking stupid. Um, and the other people are like hiding in the trees or whatever. Um, one of them was told to stay hidden no matter what. The whole time I'm thinking it's Andarna, right? Like I'm like, oh, okay. So Andarna refused to stay behind and they told her she had to stay hidden. No, no. And it took me a hot minute to figure it out. But Melgren is there. Their mom is there. There was somebody else, wasn't there?
Listen, everyone deserves a best friend like Taryn.
Yes, first of all. Um, but second of all, Brennan came. Brennan is the one that's supposed to stay hidden no matter what.
Yeah, I didn't even expect for okay, here's the thing. I wasn't thinking he was the one that needed to be hidden. Per Melgren's things, the marked ones, like no more than this many marked ones or whatever, I honestly thought it
Yeah,
was them.
yeah. But nope, because they're first of all, they're arguing back and forth about whether or not they asked them there to help them, basically at Samara to fight against these wyvern that Melgrain can see coming. Um, and in that vision or whatever, Navari loses. Um,
Are you saying Navari?
Navari is that? I don't know how to say it.
Navar.
Just Navar. That's dumb. I like my way better. But Ulysses is like,
Rebecca, Rebecca, this bitch.
um,
She went
well,
against your
Ulysses
YouTube video.
is basically like, um, we're not fighting with you. No, we don't fly for you. And I'm like, should we maybe discuss? Like, do you? You're not even like our leader. Should we not discuss this? If you don't want to fly for them, fine, but you can't make that decision for all of Arisha. First of
Yeah.
all, um, and then on page 537, Brennan just can't keep his damn mouth shut any longer and keep himself hidden.
Here's the thing. I am glad she is like she's aware that he's alive, but fuck, poor woman. That poor fucking woman.
Yeah, so this is wild. So she's like, Melgren says to Ulysses, and you speak for your rebellion. And then he looks at Zayden and says, or does the heir apparent? And then all of a sudden, all of the color drains from their mom's face, and she's like shaky. And then there are boot steps, and they can hear boot steps coming up. And Violet does, she doesn't even have to look to know who it is based on her mom's reaction. And Brennan's like, we rule by committee, and I think I'm safe in speaking for the quorum when I say that we do not defend kingdoms who sacrifice neighboring civilians, let alone their own children, so they can hide safely behind their wards. You will not escape the suffering you forced the rest of the continent to endure. And like, their mom is like, Brennan, like she's freaking out. Like this is her child that she thought has been dead for years. And Mira goes, for fuck's sake, Brennan. I just love Mira so fucking much. I can't
Mira's
even.
it's funny because Brendan's the oldest, but Mira acts like the oldest.
Yeah.
Because she's just like Brendan's like the middle child that just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. I was just fucking dying. Like, for fuck's sake, Brennan.
And it's
And
not,
then
and here's the thing, and he made a comment. He goes, when all three of your children stand against you. And I'm like, it's not like they stand against you. You, Brennan, purposefully turned away from everybody. Violet, like, didn't necessarily, like, stand against her. Like, she knew, she spoke to her mom, found out her mom's reasoning, and was like, Mom, we can't keep doing this. And she goes, that's my reasoning, and that's why I did it for so long. If you don't believe in that, that's fine. I'm giving you the choice. So she's not standing against her mom. Like she
Right.
and that's exactly how Mira did it. Mira and Violet did it for the better of the people because their mom gave them a choice. Brennan never got that option. Not
Right.
that not that we're aware of, but I
Yeah.
the accusation that he's like, well, when your children stand against you, and it's like, oh, sir, sir, quick timeout. But uh, I don't.
Yeah. So
I
then,
just got really confused during the next few pages.
yeah. So then she's like, so her whole thing is that she wants her children to be safe and to live. And
Which is
she's
what
like,
a lot of parents want for their kids. So, like,
yeah, they may not go about it in the best ways or the most healthy ways, but that's their end goal. Um, and she um, she says whatever words you've raised from the instructions in Warwick's journal will fail. And then she says, Mira's like, our words are fine. And she's like, they're not. Check the bodies of the wyvern who died crossing your border yesterday because the wyvern all have like a stone in them.
mm-hmm,
Um, that is what was used to create them, and they're all nothing but cold marked rocks. Um, but if they weren't, if they were outside the wards, those stones would be like still active. I guess they wouldn't be cold and dead.
mm-hmm.
So she gives them Lyra. I'm gonna go with Lyra.
I'd say Lyra.
Lyra's journal. Um, and she's like, "You don't have to understand my choices. You simply have to survive. I love you enough to wear the bait of your the to bear the weight of your disappointment." And Mira's like, "You think she's full of shit?" And Violet goes, "I think the Flyers can wield," saying that their wards aren't strong enough. But also, like, why would she lie about that? Like, why would their mom lie about that? She didn't have to
Right.
volunteer that information. She could have just kept her mouth shut.
And it frustrates me too that like Mira is not understanding like because there's a thing here saying it's appalling to be left in the dark, isn't it, mom? To feel lied to, perhaps even betrayed by your own family, no less. And Violet goes, Mira. She goes, she sacrificed you too, Violet. Maybe she put you into the writer's quadrant to save you from being killed as a scribe once you learned the truth. Or maybe she did it to kill you before you could learn the truth and tear her precious war college to the ground, which you did, if you remember. And it's like, I mean, she kind of already knew that was happening, and her mom still told her to go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but I get Mira's point as well. Like, I see both sides of that one. And
yeah,
I think that if I were actually in the situation, I would have more of Mira's attitude. Like, fuck you, bitch. You lied to me for my whole fucking life. Like,
true.
you sacrificed my dad, my brother, my sister. Like, I think I would have
We don't know
Mira's.
about the dad yet. We don't know the dad unless you know about the dad.
I don't know anything necessarily, but I just
I was gonna say,
suspect.
wait, too.
No. No, that's not a spoiler. I'm just assuming. Um, but
It's a good possibility. Maybe
that's the
daddy's a
end of chapter
venom.
57.
Maybe daddy's the sage. That'd be
But they
so.
dream about the sage. Well, I mean, I guess the dreams could be messed up.
Plus, the sage looks real fucked up.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Chapter 58. Um,
Um,
the very first thing I said, well, not till I didn't say anything till 5:45, I guess.
I basically started off with Warwick is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
Um, and then I said, wait, what? When did you? What? What?
5:45.
Page? Oh, on 544, I said, Um, because they like met um in like the fighting area to,
Mhm.
fight physically and I guess I don't want to say mentally, but like verbally. um,
Yeah.
and on 544, they're basically done. They're done talking. Um,
Yeah.
and they're done fighting, and like they start asking, like she starts asking questions like, "Where's your mom?" and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "What the fuck? I wanted more fucking fighting." Like I'm like the
Meh.
buildup, the buildup was there, like the buildup and the suspense of what was probably going to happen, and it wasn't there, and I was really sad about it. That was it.
Yeah. So I just, at the end of that little part, where he's like, "Do you want your presents?" And she's like, "What presents?" And it's like some two new daggers, and she lost two fighting Solus, and um, I just, my heart is happy right now. Everything is happy. They've kind of made up. They've talked it out. They're working on things. Everything's their wards held. They survived the talk with their mom. My heart is happy right now. So I'm just waiting for Rebecca Yarros to just rip it out of my chest because that's what she does.
The yeah, I mean, it just I here's the thing. I think Lilith's gonna die like their mom. I think that's gonna be the next major, like, I mean, there's gonna be like some
Heartbreak.
what the fuck moments, but I think their mom's gonna die.
I think it's gonna be one of her dragons.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a possibility. But they're on page 547.
Hmm.
We're in like battle brief at this point, and everyone knows about Melgren, the meeting, what's going on. Everyone kind of knows,
Yeah,
and
because
they're
they
all
don't hide shit
talking.
here. They actually tell the cadets
Yeah.
the truth.
The only thing they're not talking about though is how no one's fighting
Hmm.
and what's going to happen if things fall. And there's two things on page 547 that I was like, snaps, yes. So on page 547, they're talking about like they're preparing for the Battle of Melgren foresaw. And Deborah says, agreed. It's hard to get an accurate count, but we estimate
Hmm.
upward of 500 wyvern. And there are dark wilders among them. And why is it we're not engaging? Someone from First Wing asks. Quinn goes, because we're spiteful.
What was that cadet?
Yes.
Professor Deborah says, and then she says
I
it louder. She says it
said,
with her whole chest.
I said, because we're spiteful. Nailed it. Marie said under her breath. Brennan says we're not engaging because the assembly voted and decided that the casualty rate among riders and flyers would be far too great. A battle this size could annihilate our forces, leaving the rest of the continent undefended. Some of us have family in Navarre. Avalyn says, a row in front of me with the first. Are we supposed to just sit back and wait to hear if they died? They should have left. Not everyone has the means to pick up their entire lives and move just because a war is coming, you elitist prick. Yes!
I feel like this
Get
is so relevant to the United States right now.
That's why I like made a comment. That's why I put thank you, Avalyn. Thank you. Because it is so true. There is
Hmm.
okay, there is so many back when okay, back when Donald Trump first became president, I made a comment about how I did not want to live here, that I wanted to move. I wanted to go give another country a try.
Yeah.
And I didn't say another country would be better. I said I wanted to give another country a try because why not? At this point
Hmm.
in life, my country is going to shit. So I posted it on Facebook because that's Facebook, that's social media, that's what you do. I had quite a few people comment on it saying, specifically my family members, my uncles, who are very outspoken about a lot of things, saying, well, why don't you just go then? Why don't you just move?
I would love
So
to.
then, so then, and at that point, I had already had like a spreadsheet of like costs and
Hmm.
prices of like what it would be to move over there without anything, without like leaving all my prized possessions here in the States and just me, my clothes, and my cat to move over there to like the cheapest fucking country.
Hmm.
I had a cost analysis ready to go because I was like, someone's going to comment on this. I already did my research. This is what it's going to be. Because I said, but I can't. And that's bullshit. Like, and that was the ending of it. And so, like, my uncle comments on it, like, why don't you just go over there then? And I commented, I was like, why don't you just fund it for me? And he goes, well, if you don't like it over here so much, then I just don't see why you just can't go over there. And I like posted a screenshot and I was like, this is why. Because I don't have 20 grand to fucking move across the country. I
Hmm.
would love to fucking move. I would love to fucking immigrate. I would love to leave. But every single time someone says, just leave then, just leave. Would you like to fund my trip? Would you like to fund my
Yeah.
moving? And so anytime it, I got blocked for a short while, like, you know, like how you can like stop somebody from like seeing you or like block them for like
Hmm.
a little bit. I got that from my uncle because anytime he posted like, "Oh, this snowflakes just wants to leave," but I just don't understand why they just don't leave. Like, you know, comments like that. I would just post the cost analysis on there. Nothing
Hmm.
else.
Yeah. Yeah. So honestly, I this time around, the day, which you know this, but maybe the general public does not, the day that Biden pulled out of the race, I had a fucking panic attack. I started researching and doing the same thing about what it would take to move to Italy because that seemed to be like after doing some research because I've been researching for a while of what other country would be best to move to, and I had a couple like a top 5 list, but Italy was my number 1. Just to send my dog, just the dog, just the dog was going to be $3,000.
Yep.
$3,000 for just the dog.
And that's the and mind you, the it was like 10, 20 grand to move to like Ireland, like a cheap, not cheap, but like a cheaper fucking country.
Hmm.
Not even England, not France, not like a touristy place, like one of the cheaper countries to live, like to move to. And this was like when Trump first became president. What, 8 years ago?
Yeah,
Prices
and
have
imagine
skyrocketed since.
the inflation that has happened since is insane.
Yeah. It was 3 grand to send my cat over there. And that was like bare minimum. And that was like her in a crate in the bottom of a plane.
Hmm.
And like obviously I wouldn't do that. Like she would be sitting right next to my ass. Like she would be floating if we crashed. She would be floating. Like I push her ass up. Like,
Hmm.
but like it, like this is so fucking relevant. And I love that Rebecca Yaros is like a military brat because like
Yeah.
she puts in her book, she puts real time concerns, but she sees it from like a weird perspective, and
Yeah.
I love it. It's like we're reading it from like, I mean, yes, we're reading it from Violet's perspective, but like it's as if she's had these conversations or like had these like situations
Yeah.
in a way
Yep.
in her
Yes.
military
Just yes.
family, and I love it. But
And then the other funny thing on this page, after all of that, they're arguing back and forth, and Deborah's like, "This is not what Battle Brief is for." Brennan says, "Let's spin this another way. If you were Melgren, what would you be doing right now?" Shitting
shitting myself.
myself. Says Riddick.
I say Riddick.
And Brennan
Right
goes, other than that.
on.
Yeah.
Brennan, could you be a dad?
And then, like, on the next couple of pages, Violet's thinking, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" Like she's realized something.
See, this is where I need assistance to get to because I'm just really confused because she's like talking her way through like, well, if I was Melgren and I did this or I did that, like she's working her way through talking about like the Battle of Samara, but then she like comes to this conclusion. She stops talking. Everyone's like, "You want to finish that thought?" And she just doesn't. And then she's like, "We got to go because it's actually going to Bisgayeth." And I'm
Yeah,
like, how does he not know it's at Bisgayeth? Why is everybody at Samara? And
because
it's but then someone's like, "Oh, it's because he can't see the battle." And I'm like, I thought all the marked ones went with.
they did, but they're going to be at the battle.
You're right though. You're right. You're right.
Like
Then
if
why did
they
we
show
thought
up for the
it?
battle, then
Why did they
he's not
think
going
it
to be
was
able to
at
see it.
Samara? Was it just because it was a farce?
I think that's because that's the battle that he could see.
Mm, maybe
Was that
I don't know.
Samara?
See, that's like where I got confused. I'm like, how do we end up at Bisgayeth? Like, where? How the fuck does this happen? I don't know, but I do like that all of the, like the entire squad just like walks out of battle brief with everybody.
Yeah, this the squad and the drift. They her whole
Like
team.
Cat included. And here's the
Yeah,
thing. I know we're supposed to hate Cat, but like
I she's growing on me, girl.
she's and I put this at the very end of the entire thing. Like, okay, there's so many emotions, but like Cat is annoying. Like a mean girl annoying, but
Yeah,
not like I want to like not like Jack Barlow, like extreme
yeah,
fucking hate. Like not like that hatred we have for him in the first book. This is like a God, this bitch, like, come on, get off your high horse. Like,
yeah. She's
it's like
growing
high
on me
school
though.
mean girl. But like she comes out and she's fucking badass. I mean, I get it. Like she's badass. Like, girl,
Yeah,
I'm jealous too. Like, Violet, I understand. However, the fact that she comes out and everyone's like, why are we coming out here? Like, we're we're a squad, we stay together, right? Like this is how we do it. And everyone's like, oh yeah, last time we did this, like we just do this because she does this and she's normally right.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
Basically, she's realized that they're going to Bisgayeth, and she pulls them all out, and here they go. And that's literally what I wrote. The last thing I wrote was, "Well, here we go."
heading home.
Because if the wielders, like, even if no, it's not Arisha that they're attacking. It's Navarre. It's Bisgayeth. However, if they get into Bisgayeth, they're going to get into the Vale, and if they
Mhm.
drain the Vale, they're going to be fucking unstoppable.
Yeah,
Like you
they've
can't
mentioned
allow
that
that to
before.
happen. This is
Yeah.
everyone's fight because if they get that, they're coming for Arisha next.
Yeah. They're screwed.
Yeah. And that's the end of chapter 58. And then the top of the the
Chapter
blurb
59.
the blurb at the top of chapter 59, it says, "We do not eat our allies." Terrance's personal addendum to the Book of Brennan as quoted by Cadet Violet Sorengale. And I'm just dying because Andarna is constantly trying to eat their allies, and I fucking love it.
Specifically Cat, and I
Specifically,
love it.
Cat.
And it's like Violet has literally let it go. And Darna's like, no.
Yeah. No, I
But
will
it's
cut
it's
that
funny.
bitch.
It's so funny because Indarna's not letting it go with Cat. And anytime she fights with Zayden, Taryn's like in previously, and which is why I say everyone deserves a best friend like Taryn, because he goes, I could torch him if you want, but you seem rather attached.
Yes.
And it's like, you're right though, but go ahead and torch him anyways. He's a fucking prick. But it's great
Yeah.
because like both of them are just like at each other's throats with those two specifically.
Yeah.
But yes, chapter
And now,
59.
so now that I've finished the book, there is some big foreshadowing happening in this chapter. Like big foreshadowing. And I am a little bit shook. But the next thing I wrote was on page 555.
I wrote on 554 um, because I said, da, 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 da. Oh, on 554 it said, mm, Brennan is pissed at everybody. He goes, they think that rushing into enemy territory with untrained cadets is a mistake. And I agree. You're going to get cadets, including yourself, killed. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you, Brennan.
Yeah,
You're an
fuck
asshole.
off. Because
And
whether
it's
we
like
go or
he had,
don't go, we're going to get killed. It's just prolonging the
yeah,
inevitable.
yeah. And he flinches, his head drawing back like I hit him because it's like you'd rather stay here knowing that that's every chance mom might die. And he flinches, his head drawing back like I hit him. She had no trouble sending any of the three of us to our deaths. And then Zane's like, we don't have time for this. If you aren't coming, Brennan, then that's on you. But if we don't leave now, there's a chance we'll be too late to defend Biscayeth. And absolutely not. Most of you haven't even manifested a signet, and I'm not serving you up with your dragons as another energy source because like all the first years are pissed off that they're not going either.
Yeah.
Um And then Zayden goes, Matthias, get your squad ready to launch. Then find your wing leader for further orders. We'll need to fly straight through. I'll take Violet with the. And Rhiannon goes, with all due respect, unlike war games, second squad flame section fourth wing will remain intact, though you are welcome to join us.
Yes.
And
That's
then
actually what I wrote about as well. It just,
yeah. And it's like Sawyer and Riddick move to my sides, and I know if I fall back, Quinn and Imogen will be waiting. Zayden lifts his scarred brow at me instead of contradicting Rhiannon. I glance at my sister. Same goes for you. You're welcome to join, but I stay with my squad. And it's like Matthias was born to be a badass squad leader. Like,
yes.
I love a badass bitch. Yes.
Yes.
And then Zayden's like, okay, I guess,
Yeah, all
yes,
right. All right.
whatever.
I guess that's what we're doing then.
I have no choice then. If I stay with Violet, then I stay with Violet.
I literally, like, then I don't write anything for like the next 6 pages because like so much
Same.
happens.
Oh, I wrote on 558. So we are all so like we're at Biscayeth, we're here. We're talking to mom and she's like, we need to check the ward stone. We need to go check it. And she's like, why? We don't need to check it. And she's like, we need to fucking check it, mom. Mom, we need to check it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, we're fine, we're fine. And she's like, let us check. You know, your daughters would never strip Navarre of its protection. She goes, I know exactly who my daughters are. And the answer is no. You're lucky to be alive crossing enemy airspace. Consider retaining your lives as a personal gift. Mira goes, I think not. This courtyard should be full at this hour with soldiers returning from mess. And yet I only count 5 soldiers, 1 captain and 4 cadets. And no, I'm not counting the healers in the corner. You sent every available body to Samara, haven't you? And it's like the temperature goes down, in which, if we all know, that's Mommy Dearest powers.
Yes.
And
Controlling the weather.
yeah, and it's like the guards behind you have signets and mind work, Mother. In fact, I bet money that the most powerful riders on campus are you and who? Professor Carr. Our forces can render aid or conquer. It's your choice. And then it's like Dane goes, if you won't take them to the wards, I will. My father showed me where they are last year, and which is why he's with the squad, obviously.
Yep.
And then it's like, who do you want to be, the general who saves Gaius, or the one who loses it to the very cadets who rejected your lies? And I was like, damn, Violet.
Right. Right.
But then it's like Nolan's standing right next to her, and Nolan's being a little
Fucker.
sus. But like, there's a reason behind all of this because, um, instead of and instead of like apologizing for certain things that could like he could have done, he starts off with Violet and she's in like Zayden pops out of nowhere and goes, "Stay the fuck away from Violet and I'll consider letting you live, if only to mend riders if there's a battle coming." But then there's talk about like one of the dragons being worried, and I'm like, okay, we just had this confrontation with Nolan. What if Nolan is the one that like brings down the ward? I was like, but hold on, Jack didn't come with. Jack is so fucking sus. I still think Jack's Venom. I think he's a fucking Venom. He literally siphoned power from Violet once upon a time. Like, I think he's Venom. It's got to be one of those two bitches. Like, they're in on it. Like, I fucking know it. And we're just like going through it. Do.
Yup.
And then all of a sudden, Violet's mom goes and opens up chambers upon chambers upon chambers, just like in the archives. And then she sees two dead guards. And it's like,
Fuck.
mommy dearest. Oh, I was right all along, you bitch.
Yep.
So, yeah. Um, and then everyone's freaking out. Violet reaches out to Taryn and goes, "Do you know where it opens up to the sky?" And he goes, "According to you, I can't. Oh, on my way."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I understand now. I'm
Yeah.
coming."
He's like, wait,
And
I can't fire this word stone. Oh shit. Here I
yeah.
come.
And then on the next page, we find out that a scorpion tail comes out of nowhere. And excuse me, Bade,
Yep.
what are you doing here without your gold eyes? Why are your eyes nice and pale and dead like?
Yep.
Hmm.
What's going on? Then you're right on
So yeah,
time, Sorengale.
none other than Jack on top of a Bade with soulless eyes.
Yep.
Soulless. Not
Not
soulless.
soulless,
Soulless.
but soulless.
Like a ginger.
And then he, um,
Said Ginger didn't catch that, or she doesn't care.
huh?
I said soulless like a ginger. And you were just like, hmm. I was like, oh, said Ginger didn't catch that, or she doesn't care. She cares. She definitely cares. William, have a great time.
Anyway, um, Jack fucking kills Vade to
Oh,
put out the
yeah.
ward stone. Like, what the fuck? He kills his own dragon in order to,
At this point I think the dragon's already dead
yeah, she's
because like
definitely
the
not
eyes
good. Yeah,
because the eyes well, and like she makes a point to say that. She goes, I stare into Bade's eyes and they're
yeah,
whitish, like gray. They're grayed out. They're not yellow like they should be.
yeah. And that, putting the dragon's blood on the word stone, kills it, basically. It falls and cracks.
And the wards have fallen.
The wards have fallen. The end of chapter 59.
And Jack is dying too. So they
Yeah.
have
And not
some
only
time to
because
wait.
his dragon died, but also because Violet threw a dagger into him.
Not really that though, because it's the wrong dagger.
Yeah, it was the wrong dagger for a venom. But, um, oh, wait. Have we figured that out yet?
You son of a bitch. No, no, not yet. Not yet. That's next chapter.
But you've already
Well,
read that chapter, so I didn't spoil it for
no,
you.
okay. Actually, hold on. We know this. We know it already. I mean, kind of, because on chapter 562, I yelled, "I fucking knew it!"
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, he like I don't it's just like I don't know, he makes like a I don't know, like the oh no, I said I fucking knew it because I said Jack's gonna break the wards. That's why I said it. Fuck. No, we don't know it yet, Brandy. We don't know it till
Oops.
next chapter.
All right, well, chapter 60, we're about to find out.
Jack's Venom.
um,
So we find out.
Jack is
Yep, we find
Venom.
out. We find out that Nolan has been trying to mend him for fucking months. And that is
Yeah,
why he's so
and
fucking tired. Which is what
and
I
not
said
mend
right
him.
along.
Yeah, and not mend him from like being almost dead, but mend him from becoming Venom.
Which is why he didn't die when the fucking building dropped on him.
Yeah,
Because he couldn't, because he had already started siphoning at that point. He started it literally when Taryn decided, fuck Jack. I want Violet.
yeah. Um, so then Dane is like taking Jack's memories to try to find out what the fuck is going on. And Jack starts to drain him. Zayden saves his life. Yada, yada, yada. Um,
What was Jack's signet? Do we ever find that out?
um, I don't know, but on the page, like a couple of pages ago, where was it? A couple of pages ago, page 5, on the actually in the last chapter, page 562, he throws up a shield. Like he wields with an outward facing palm, throwing up a shield that deflects Zayden's shadows. So I don't know if his signet was shielding or if that's a Venom thing.
Let's see. I just want to know what a signet is. Oh, it actually doesn't say that he has a signet at all.
Um,
Probably because he started to being like a venom or whatever,
yeah.
and he never got like the signet powers.
Well, and I don't know. I
I
just
don't
don't
think he
remember.
I don't think he's dying during this.
I don't think so either.
I think he's just
But
losing like a part of himself because like of the bond with Bade.
yeah.
But I don't know. Anyways,
Um, I wrote on page 566, well, fuck, because Dane is talking about how he saw Jack's memory and there are not enough riders and dragons at
and they're
Bisgayeth to win.
faster than yeah, and they're faster than dragons too.
Yeah.
They have 10 hours, possibly, maybe less, and then they're all dead.
Um,
Then
and then,
they're all in battle brief again, but this time they're actually looking at maps and like this is where you're going to be stationed. This is where you're going to be stationed. This is where you're going to be stationed. Um, this is where you're going to be stationed, kind of thing. Um, and just kind of getting a plan ready to go for the war that's about to happen. But none of them are protecting the wardstone themselves.
no, until,
And my favorite is if my mom was the general, I would probably speak out of turn too.
oh, I absolutely would. Or what page did you say you were on?
Mm, I said something on 570 because that's where
Okay,
everyone started
yeah.
speaking out of turn.
So yeah, they're all speaking out of turns and shit, but I'm also like, I wrote on page 570, bitch, what makes you think you're still in charge? Like, hello, mother, you're no longer in charge here. Um,
Right?
yeah. And anyway, basically they decide, and I don't know if you already said this because what I don't know if they know or not is that my I had some technical difficulties and glitched out for a moment. And Brennan
I didn't say
is
anything
going
about him.
to mend the wardstone or attempt to mend the wardstone
Yeah.
because that's what they decide to try to do. Because he turns up, him and the Flyers, like they all show up because they weren't there
Yeah.
originally, and they all show up to help because fucking
And
obviously
here's
they
the
do.
thing, there's no wardstone, so the Flyers can wield until Brennan mends the wardstone if he can mend it. But
Yeah,
and that's the
I was
thing.
just cracking up because at the very end of that chapter, Rhiannon goes, General Sorengale, 2nd Squad, Flame Section, 4th Wing, officially request permission to guard the airspace above the Wardstone Chamber. Why were you still asking this bitch? This bitch is not still in charge, but okay. And she goes, granted, thankfully, because they were going to fucking do it anyway. But
Yeah.
like, she does grant the thing.
And it's like as soon as, and it's so funny because it's like as soon as Brennan pops into the world, it's like, yes, my son, you can have anything you've ever wanted in your life. It's like, oh, okay. I put at the very end of everything, I was like, all right, all right, all right. So many emotions. First off, good for you, Mira, for yelling at your mom because
Yeah.
fuck your mother. Fuck your mother. Um, because uh because Mira basically like disregarded her mom's orders and was like, actually I should be with you to do this. Second of all,
Yeah.
I should also do this, and this person should with this one because they complement each other better.
Mm-hmm.
With all due respect, General.
Yeah. They're like,
Uh
okay, I understand what you're saying, but actually, this is what we're going to do.
yeah. And then the next one was like, oh, you should say it. You have a better chance of living. And then she's like, it's a mistake. Why are only my daughters saying these things to me? Like, get him. She deserves it. Um, but this is where I like legitimately was like, listen, Kat's a bitch. She's got some problems. She's a little
Yeah, she
fucking
does.
psychotic. She's a
Mm-hmm.
mean girl,
All of that.
but I can't hate her as much as I hate Jack Barlow. I saw a TikTok the other day where it was like, who would you rather kill off, Jack Barlow or Kat? And I was just like,
Jack
I swear to
Barlow.
God, if anybody goes towards Kat, I will lose my mind. And they all went towards Jack, and I was like, good choice.
Damn right.
Good choice.
Damn fucking right.
I was like,
Okay.
okay, I get it. Like, I can't stand her either, but like,
She's growing on me. And even just at this
yeah,
point, she's growing on me, like with her interactions with Sloane. And like, she's growing on me.
yeah. And then because it's like, listen, that's a personality trait that can change. Jack is just a fucking terrible person.
Yeah.
That will obviously never change. He's a venom.
Yeah.
And my last emotion was finally, Brennan, you're about to do something. Fucking
Right.
finally. And it's like, I
Finally.
get it. A lot of people are like, oh, Brennan's done something with his life. He's already did. I get it. Brennan has done something with his life. He's done a lot of good things with his life. He's like basically the leader of the rebellion, whatever. However, there's a lot of things that he hasn't fucking done that he should have done a long time ago, and this is one of them, and he's finally fucking doing it. So
Yeah.
here we go. And it's only
Yes.
because his baby fucking sister had to start the movement. So
Yup.
here we are. But yeah, so.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We have one more chapter, y'all.
One more episode.
I
6 more
yeah, that's right.
chapters.
I always say that. One more
So
episode.
much happens in the next, what is it, 45 pages, 48 pages?
Shut the fuck up.
So much
Why?
happens.
And we have until January
Yeah.
to read the next book. So,
Yeah.
anyways, until then,
Yikes.
we'll see you next time.
Bye.